What happens when something you love, something that represents your freedom and joy, is suddenly and inexplicably taken from you? This isn't just about a broken bike, it's about the shattering of a young person's world and the unexpected journey of healing that follows. Prepare for a story that will touch your heart. The crunch of metal was so out of place, I thought it was a car accident. I ran outside barefoot, still chewing cereal, only to find it wasn't a car. It was my bike, my bright red Trek Marlin, crumpled like a soda can under the back tire of a delivery van. For a second, I didn't breathe. My brain couldn't catch up to what I was seeing. The handlebars were twisted into the frame, the tires completely warped, the chains snapped and dangling. I stood there, stunned, feeling like someone had knocked the wind out of my soul. The driver kept apologizing, said he didn't see it parked behind the bushes. I barely heard him. All I could do was stare at the wreckage of what had been more than just a bike. It had been my escape, my therapy, my best friend. I got that bike for my 13th birthday. My mom worked double shifts for 2 months to buy it. I still remember the bow on the handlebars, the way the sun hit the chrome when I first rolled it out of the driveway. That bike was the first thing that made me feel free. I rode it everywhere, to the library, the lake, even through the woods where we'd pretend we were on secret missions. I learned balance, bravery, and how to fall without crying on that bike. Every scratch on the frame had a story. The time I hit a low branch trying to duck under it like a ninja, or when I raced Evan down the hill and skidded into a bush trying to beat him. It wasn't just metal, it was memories. When it was destroyed, something inside me cracked. The sadness hit first, then came the anger. I lashed out at everyone, my mom, the driver, even Evan. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to hear, "It's just a bike," because to me, it wasn't. I stopped going out, stopped talking about rides or trails. My friends still met at the park, but I didn't join. It felt like that wrecked frame outside my window was a funeral marker for who I used to be. But grief has stages, even for a bike. One weekend, Evan came over with a sketchbook. He handed it to me without a word. Inside were drawings, every memory we'd made on that bike, cartoon style. The time we got caught in the rain and rode through puddles like maniacs. The day a squirrel tried to chase us. The moment I beat him in our first ever uphill race. "I miss that version of you," he said, "the one who smiled more on 2 wheels than anyone else I know." That night, I cried for the first time since it happened. Not because I was sad, but because someone saw what the bike meant. I started walking to the park again, just sitting, watching, talking. Slowly, I began to feel like myself again, even without wheels. I helped Evan build a dirt ramp for his bike. I started fixing up my old skateboard. My mom and I took longer walks. It wasn't the same freedom, but it was something. Then came the biggest surprise. One Saturday morning, our whole street gathered outside. Evan's parents, the delivery driver, even the librarian from down the road. My mom handed me a box. Inside was a helmet, bright red, just like the old one. Behind them was a new bike. Not the same model, not the same history, but it was mine. A community gift, a collective nod to everything that had been lost and everything I still had. I rode it that afternoon, slowly at first, nervous, then faster, through the old trails. The wind in my face felt familiar. I smiled. It wasn't the past, but it was a new beginning. I still keep the mangled frame of my old Trek in the garage, not as a reminder of what I lost, but of what I learned. Joy can be broken, but it can also be rebuilt. And sometimes, when you lose something that defined you, you get the rare chance to redefine yourself.